That's perfect. Alright, so yeah, that beginning of the video, I'm gonna purposely edit these together. Yeah, it was, I got, as soon as I was riding that bike, you know, to my location, whatever, to Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, and what's it called, I'm about to say, that's someone from my church. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about that eventually. Yeah, so I went to but while I was on my way to Dunkin' Donuts, far away, my male eyes, my classic male eyes or whatever. I bet you if I didn't have glasses, I still would have seen her. So I seen some woman. She was jogging, and she was some blonde haired. She was a blonde. She was a slim, thick blonde jogging. She was wearing a white, shirt or whatever. It was a running shirt. Is it like a? It's not a tank top. Whatever it's called, what they be wearing, but the runners be wearing. She was wearing that. It was white, and then her teal. She had like a mixture of like gray / teal colored leggings, and she was slim thick too. So yeah, she had cake as well. She definitely had some cake. It was kind of bouncy too. So yeah, I had to talk about that. So yeah, and how I find it kind of perfect how am I being distracted by her beauty. And she had a pretty face too. And I made sure I kind of at least said hi or something like that. So yeah. Anyway, so I find it funny the fact I was distracted by her beauty. I end up I had enough time, but I end up driving my bike off the curb a little, off the curb, which I was already prepared for. But I drive it off the curb, but it was strong enough to a point that my chain slipped. Yeah, the pedal one, the ones who are pedal one, the chain. It slipped off, so I had to stop, and I was like perfect in it, as you've seen. Stop and fix it up. I wonder what that female was thinking. Obviously, I was looking at her, but I don't know if she knew I was looking at her. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she knew or whatever. But so now I get a second look of her cake and her body, how cute and hot she is. But the second time, once I put my chain back in place, and this is the first time I had the first time I had a chain issue with this bike. So yeah, with the exception of shifting problems, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Me being distracted by female beauty screwed up my bike. So now I obviously knew it would happen eventually, but now I know to pay more attention on hopping off the curb with my bike. So yeah, even though my bike is fully capable of doing it, since I have the what's this called? I forgot what it's called, the compression thing where it can bounce. What I forgot what it's called. But yeah. So yeah, Ray, if you see blonde, the slim thick blonde female running, that's caked up. Don't always pay attention to my bike instead of her, okay? I didn't fall off the bike, so yeah. And I made sure I, instead of going right behind her again, I rode in the street this time so I can run way straight past her. I don't want to ring my bell again. I'm done talking about this female. She was a pretty, slim, thick female I have seen. We had nice cake. So yeah. Anyway, so I have no notes for this video. I'm just gonna go straight off the top of my head because I believe this is all how I'm genuinely feeling. So yeah, I wish I was a better older brother. I know yesterday I uploaded a video called I always wish I had an older brother, and which I wish I did, but at the same time, now that I realize, I was wishing I had an older brother. I wasn't a good older brother myself. To me, I've unfortunately failed my younger brother. My younger brother. I won't get into Hispanic and family specifics per se, but yeah, but I feel like I failed him. And I even told him that one time in 2021. And he said, that's weird, that's awkward. So yeah. I don't know. But how I feel like I've failed them. Well, starting with my childhood, such hurting. Sleep on the floor and then whatever's going on with my arm. So yeah. Starting off with my childhood, I'm gonna go for baby era. My toddler era. When he was in his, I believe, toddler years, me and my older sibling, biological older sibling back in 2004, we used to blame him for stuff. That he, like let's just say if I did something bad or stole something from the cookie jar or something like that, You know, stuff like that back in the house, back in my like toddler era, when I was like 5 years old and he was like 3 years old, stuff like that. Me and my older sibling, my older sister, was blaming stuff on him, and he always got in trouble for. He always took the penalty. That's so cute. A man, he riding a motorcycle, and then a female, she's right behind him. She wasn't holding him, whatever. But that's so cute. I would love to do that with a female. So yeah, so cute. Anyway, so me and my older sibling, we was blaming, you know, stuff we were doing, you know, on him. And next thing you know, he over here getting in trouble, getting yelled at, and I believe he even got some whoopings as well. He took on all those burdens from something I did, me and my older sibling did. I failed to see that. I mean, obviously I'm a kid. I'm not going to want to, you know, take on, you know, my responsibility because I'm a kid. But at the same time, it was just wrong. You ever getting whoopings and punishments for stuff we did? That's so wrong. I think back at that, you know, and I think that continued all the way up to like the peak of my peak childhood, like around 9 years old. And you know, and unfortunately, 4 of the OG children of 2009 in my peak childhood family, we all 4 of us was blaming junk on him, and he kept getting punished for it. I feel so bad. And me as a kid, I'm over here, and the thing is, when we were kids, me and my younger brother, we were, I would say we were kind of close. We were kind of close. We kind of liked the same things or whatever. We kind of did. And I even feel, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, hold up, person coming. So yeah, man, yeah, so we over here blaming junk on him and everything. And like I said, him and I, we were technically close when we were kids because we were always doing, you know, we both liked Sonic and, you know, Cartoon Network and stuff like that. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my gosh, the closest me and my younger brother always have gotten is when we created the novel, okay? The novel back in 2009. It had to be a summer 2009. I remember when me and my younger brother, we created the novel. Now, what exactly is the novel? The novel is a, oh my gosh, how can I explain? I'm so used to explaining side novel, the spin-off series, but the novel is a child's playful thing between me and my younger brother of the characters we like, such as Sonic, Mario, Pac-Man, and all that stuff. We used our imaginations and we made stories and stuff like that with our imagination. We played stories of fictional characters like Sonic, Mario, Mr. Henry, Teacher N from Johnny Test and stuff like that. And we of the characters living life or whatever. Like for an example, the very first chapter of the novel, I don't want to reveal too much about it because I want to save that for a future side novel episode. But basically, it revolved around Mario and Princess Peach and going to the castle, and then the waters, the ocean or whatever. Welcome to our home. That's the very first chapter of me and my younger brother's, aka Leader M, novel back in the day. So that's the best line. Welcome to our home. So yeah, we were making a bunch of chapters of these characters just living life with each other. We wasn't actually writing down. We were just kids playing together. I don't recall us having any toys or whatever. The thing is, the only reason why we made this the novel is because we didn't have phones. We didn't have, you know, a bunch of television sometimes. Access to, you know, television sometimes. Wild cable at the time. So yeah. Or maybe Xfinity too. So yeah, yeah. So we made the novel to entertain each other since we didn't have phones. So every knowledge we had about Mario, Sonic, Crash, Pac-Man, I don't know, Donkey Kong, Michael Myers, you name it. We all put that all together and made stories, told each other stories and stuff like that, acting out the characters and stuff like that for each other. We entertained each other. That's the closest I would say me and my younger brother got attached. Grew on together. So, the part that really started to hurt me the most, that probably even hurted my younger brother, is the fact that, unfortunately, okay, when I created Project WTS in 2010, my arm hurts. I sleep on my arm a lot. So yeah, I don't know, cause I be cold and everything. I don't know. Yeah, so when I started Project WTS in 2010, around like 2 years later or whatever, I failed to realize my younger brother, he was inspired by his older brother, me, that I was making a video game, drawing all these pictures of the franchises and everything, and he did the same. I had no problem with him doing it, but the main problem I had, he was copying me. He kept drawing pictures I was drawing and stuff like that, the same kind of pictures or whatever. I remember he was going up in my picture collections at the time, my portfolio pictures, and just literally copying the background worth, everything, layout to layout, for the video game or whatever. I liked the fact he was making a video game. I just didn't like the fact he was copying me. I was getting pissed by that. But the thing is, as a kid at 12, 11 something years old, I failed to realize I was inspiring my younger brother. And I feel so bad. I was getting pissed at him for copying me. What I should have done as the older brother is help him draw the backgrounds, help him draw the characters, help him write the stories, help him draw all make his stuff original, stuff like that. That's what I should have done. But instead, I demonized him for copying me. He was inspired, and I failed to see that. I'm truly sorry, Leader M. I call him Leader M publicly because, he was the leader of the novel at the time. He was the leader of the novel. So I refer him as the Leader M, okay? On the internet, okay? Especially in side novels, so yeah. Oh man, it sucks so much. He was very inspired by his older brother to create a video game. He was making a video game. I don't know if he's interested in making it, his franchise again or whatever. I know the name of his son. Hint right there. I know the name of his video game character. I remember I helped him and stuff like that. I remember we was gonna make a collaboration. I still have my pictures, but he doesn't have his. And then on top of that, when him in school like that, when he did have a couple behavior issues up in school. But unfortunately, I feel like I wish I might have listened to him more about him, him being messed with in school and stuff like that, and teachers not listening to him and stuff like that. Like, I get he did have behavior issues, but the thing is, I just did not like the fact, I really don't like the fact that past me 10, 15, 13 years ago, whatever, failed to see that he genuinely was struggling in school, being picked on in schools. I understand I was being bullied and stuff like that, but unfortunately, I failed to see his bullying. His kids picking on him, and teachers not. I understand he had a behavior issue sometimes, but I forgot to see things in his shoes. I wasn't the only one getting picked on. He was too. And kids blaming junk on him, teachers not listening to him, and stuff like that. It just really sucked. I really wish I was more there for my younger brother. So, and then, like I said, it just sucks so much. I feel so bad what I've done to my younger brother. I was so concerned about me having an older brother. When I failed, I had a job to do of being an older brother. Man, it sucks. Yeah, it really sucks. But I kind of, down myself a lot because I failed him. I feel like I failed him. So yeah, and then I remember, oh my gosh, I really hate this. There was a point of time, I believe either late 2012 or early 2013. Occasionally he kept pissing me off. So eventually I went over to my childhood parents at the time and said, "Can I give him whoopings?" And I have a vague memory of them saying yes. And then unfortunately, I remember I started putting my hands on him. I feel so bad. I never gave him full-on whoopings, but I remember I used to hit him and stuff. Not bully him. It's just I thought I was being disciplinary because my childhood parents gave me clearance to. I feel bad. When the time he really needed an older brother, I wasn't there. I genuinely feel bad, honestly. Eventually, I realized maybe I shouldn't be hitting him. Maybe I really shouldn't be hitting him. So, just didn't do it. And then around high school, when we started moving to high school, when we went to high school, no, when I was in high school, he was still in elementary school, because he's 3 years behind me and stuff like that. When I was in freshman year, I believe he was in 6th grade or something like that. I'm a teenager, he's a preteen. I should have been there for him. The whole entire childhood family was against him, including my own dumbass self. Not just him existing, it's just so wrong. Like, we did not treat him right. Even during our childhood era. My childhood era. Like, oh man. When he was struggling in school and stuff like that, it's just so, I should have been there as an older brother. I mean, at the time, and then I kind of, I think, included him in a few of my videos back then, yesteryear, back in 2014-15. He was inspired to be a YouTuber, so he started to be a YouTuber, but eventually he made his own decision that he just didn't want to be a YouTuber. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I helped him occasionally, but another thing, he was bored. He didn't have, access to the internet a lot. But I did with that, with the school computer back in JW High School. So he was watching this whatever I was watching, and then I didn't want him over my shoulder watching me because I wanted to watch what I want. So I remember I used to have a tab specifically box.jpg, and I just, whenever he's watching, I put that on just so he won't watch. When failing to realize he was bored and he wanted to be entertained too, and I failed to do that. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. And then at one point we had to, kind of, I believe his behavior, maybe I shouldn't get into that. Maybe I shouldn't get to that. But the point is, I should have been there to help, lead him into, help him with his problems and stuff like that. In 2018, when we had high school together, I think I just started my senior year. He started his freshman year. He started to become independent at the time. So we both met our biological parents. So I wanted to help him get to school and stuff like that. I mean, unfortunately, he at that point, I think he stopped needing my help because he wanted to figure it out on his own, which is okay, but I don't know. I was no kind of role model for him. I couldn't really I was trying my hardest to get him on the school in time because he was starting to be late. And then teachers and stuff like that, the school staff, and they're like, why aren't you having your brother come to school on time? I'm like, I am telling him, but he's not listening to me. I honestly kind of understand why he didn't want to listen to me, because I was not a good older brother. I was not a good older brother. And I revealed that to him in 2021. And he said that's weird. He probably didn't think it, but I don't know what he thinks right now. But I don't know. Me personally, I feel like I failed to be an older brother. And I really, really am sorry. I really wish I could, go up to talk to him and say, hey, I'm truly sorry the way I talked to you, the way I treated you, how we treated you, growing up and stuff like that. If there's anything I could do to make it up to him, I would. Because I genuinely feel bad that I have failed my younger brother. I'm over fancying me wishing to have an older brother. I mean, yes, I had my own problems, but at the same time, I failed. Now we're grown now. We're both adults now. The best thing I can do is, try to do my best as the older brother I am now. I mean, our childhood is our childhood. I can't change that, but the best thing I can do is do, whenever he needs some help, call me, let me know. So yeah, I wanted to include him in episode 5 of since the novel was something so big for us in our childhood. But he agreed, Leader M, he agreed to be in Side Novel episode 5, but he said, the standard is I need his voice, his actual voice, but he said no, he doesn't want to do it. I mean, it has nothing to do with the way I treat him or whatever as a kid, but I think it's more because he just want, he just wanted, have his own choices or whatever. Hold up. So yeah, I wanted him in Side Novel episode 5. He agreed to do it, but he said he doesn't want his voice. But the thing is, the way how I planned it, I need his voice. So he said he doesn't want his voice, and I told him directly, I respect your decision. So I just won't include you at all. But I don't know. I probably could voice him as a younger, because I have a clue. I have his voice. There is a video online with his voice 10 years ago that I may be able to voice act as a younger version of himself. But I might have to pitch it up a little. But I don't want to voice him. I don't want to voice my younger brother in Side Novel. I talk highly of him in Side Novel all the time. I don't think there's not one episode of Side Novel where I did not mention him. Episode 1, I mentioned him. In I believe the post credit scene. Episode 2, I talked about him. I believe in on my announcement. Episode 3, I think another character mentioned him. And speaking of which, in Side Novel episode 3, spoiler, I somewhat mentioned his original character in Side Novel. His character is canon. I told him that, actually. He approved of it. I mean, I did it without his permission. But he approved of him mentioning his character. So watch Side Novel episode 3 if you want to know a little bit about Leader M, my younger brother, what I call him in Side Novel, publicly speaking. This video might be flagged by him if he sees this, because apparently I did see one of his comments on one of my videos. So if you're watching, hello. I feel like I failed you. If you find this weird, I'm sorry, I guess. I don't know. All I know is I cannot what was that? He made me trip a little. I almost dropped my glasses. That actually kind of hurt. Anyways, I can't, dwell on the past. I cannot dwell on the past. The past is the past. The best thing I can do is prepare for the future. That actually kind of hurt my knee. That actually really hurt my knee, actually. So, yeah. Yeah. I can't dwell on the past. The best thing I can do is just do better for the future. And, give him... be a good brother now, this second away. So, yeah. I don't know what to say. I had no notes for this because this all genuinely came from the heart. So, yeah, I just wish I was a better older brother. So, yeah. The future, is great. The best thing I can do is to do better. And be that, I'm there if you need me, Leader M. I'm there if you need me. So, I do my best. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.